Hey everybody, just wanted to do a quick video of the final product. This is a 1542 topper uh, Jon Boat that I bought in kind of shell condition, and this is the result. Fishes really well. Very happy with it. Huge props to Tiny Boat Nation for encouraging the build and all the tips that were given through his series of videos. I'm a Patreon member now, and everything that he puts out is great. I didn't follow everything. I did things a little differently, but I'll run you through it real fast with pictures and things of that sort in the video as well. So again, a 1542 topper. I elected to put two Lowrance. These are TI 29s Elites here, there. This is a Minn Kota 70-pound thrust edge trolling motor. The trolling motor box build was particularly tough, but we got through that. Face it with gator skins there and here as well. So I think it looks pretty sharp. This is the trolling motor cutout, which is instrumental. I don't build a boat like this without that. I mean, it's just huge. Got our tie down straps here, seat here, seat back there. The seat back there is critical, as my fishing buddies will tell you. They hated watching me sit up on the front seat while they had to stand in the back. So this is tackle storage in here. Huge space. It's a tough box. It actually came right to the underside of the deck, so that worked perfectly. That holds, I can't tell you how much storage, but easily 10 standard size Plano boxes. This was the stock, what they call live well. I had to modify it. This whole piece had to come out, cut a new hole in the deck, and bought a kind of a semi-rigid soft cooler and put it in here. This thing doesn't function either as a cooler or a live well in the original mod. The seat that it was cut into is right here, but the deck is significantly above that. And I'll get to the decking material in a second. This is the live well. This was just a cooler that I I modified. I actually had to cut the top off the cooler to fit and meet the underside of the deck. It's got this is a pump out here, overflow valve here. Fresh water comes from here. Easily holds 6 big fish. Very cool, and I love this mod. So moving back, used the gator skin in here as well. Love that stuff. Great product. Added a couple of features like the cup holders and things like that, which are huge. This is actually made by Rapala. This is magnetic, so it really it holds everything in there really well. Not a ton of space in this boat, so there were some challenges with with where to put the batteries. The batteries actually sit under here. This piece comes off, and I have it on a rolling tray. So the batteries will just pull right out if I need to access them. I'll show you that in a minute. This is just extra storage in here. Live well bags, bilge pump, extra bilge pump, an oar, things you need. These were great. I think I bought them for 60 bucks. You can't put a Jon Boat on a trailer without them, to be honest with you. They mount right to the trailer. They work really, really well. This is the rear light switch. I also use this for the GoPro light pole, so it powers it as well. Again, the rear butt seats here. This was a nice mod. This is a charger port, and it's actually a cord that connects to the onboard battery charger, and it's just flush mounted. It's waterproof, so all I got to do is kind of plug the extension cord into there and it'll charge the batteries. The battery charger is actually located in the back here on the transom. There's also a bilge pump there. It's an auto bilge pump. And then over there is my freshwater intake for the live well. Transducer mount here. This is the bilge the bilge pump out right there. So my switch gear and stuff I put right here. This controls the bilge pump, the aerator and pump out, as well as the freshwater intake from the rear of the boat. That was all run on that side of the boat, and it comes around to the live well there. Also a light switch, and as I mentioned, the bilge pump. Great videos from Tiny Boat Nation on how to do electrical. I chose a pretty simple fuse box concept. It's waterproof, it's marine rated, so all my fuses are right there, and I labeled them so never get kind of confused about what goes where. So the idea was that I would have this removable panel, which I don't want to remove all the way right now, but in there you can see those are where the batteries are kept. It's pretty tight. I don't have to worry much about it, but when I need to get access to the batteries, I can. So the decking I used throughout this boat is called carbon core, and it's fiberglass gel coat on each side, and then it's got a structural honeycomb interior right here. Extremely light. Each one of these 4/8 by 8 pieces weighs about 30 pounds. I used pretty much 3 pieces. By contrast, marine grade plywood weighs about 70 pounds per piece. So that would have been 210 pounds of weight in the boat versus just about 90 pounds. The structure, as you'll see in the photos, the structure was, I used just commercial grade aluminum framing studs. And what I wound up doing was raising the deck up, because what really drove the deck height was the depth of the live well. I wanted the live well as deep as possible. So again, this is simply a cooler caulked underneath, doesn't leak. It's awesome. But I needed to raise the deck up so I could get enough water in the live well to sustain up to a 6 fish limit. I can actually get probably about 8 fish in there pretty comfortably and never have lost a fish. So the framing you'll see in these photos was relatively easy to do, and I just took, galvanized self-tapping screws and screwed them in and laid the deck right on top. So that's about it for this build. I mean, it took about 2.5 months to do it all, and that was through the winter. So, that was, I had to kind of pick my days, but everything turned out great. The boat runs great. It fishes fantastic. It's very stable, and it was a fun project. See ya.